Hey, welcome back to the Life Coach Launchpad. My name's BJ, and I'm here every week talking to you about all the online business things that, as it turns out, need to happen in order to have a successful life coaching business. I'm a business coach. I love to help life coaches make more money, get more clients, have more fun, and to do what they love to do, what they're meant to do, and that's coaching. So, let's dive right in. This episode is about how to go on a month-long vacation. And no, this is not becoming a travel planning podcast. This is just how to step away from your business for a month, longer, less, however long you want. That's what I just did. I just took a family vacation I was out for a month. And guess what? I did not get any emergency phone calls. I remember being on my paternity leave after our second kid was born, back when I was a manufacturing engineer for this big corporation. We went to Belize for a month. And I still remember that phone call from work about some documentation that they couldn't find. It was so important for them to call me. And it was just jarring and a bit stressful because it's hard to get it done from afar. It turns out being out of the country is no longer a good reason not to call someone. But anyway, that didn't happen on this trip. My work ahead of time made sure everything went smoothly. Social media, podcast downloads, YouTube downloads, Facebook ads, Facebook posts all continued. Mini sessions came in. By doing the work ahead of time, my business, it just continued. We just got back from Japan. I was there for 3 weeks, wife and 3 kids, toting them all over the train system through 6 different cities. And I was able to step away from work for a month and nothing broke. My business continued running. In fact, I had the highest week of downloads for my podcast ever. And I received the most number of mini sessions in a month ever. It's because my business is simple enough to run on its own as long as I prepare ahead of time. I did have to create and schedule all the podcast, newsletters, and social posts, of course. But the content I create and the way I schedule it, it's so simple. And when I'm working with a life coach early on in their career, I teach them how to help their clients using the simplest systems possible. When I'm working with life coaches who have been at it for a little while and naturally have more offers, more complexity in their business, I teach them or implement for them automations that simplify their daily work. So the business stays simple. Even though it's bigger, it stays simple. I make it simple to understand and implement. The first thing I had to do was to block my calendar for mini sessions, coaching calls, and scheduled work for clients. So I know that's not always that easy, but I did start weeks in advance, letting my clients know, looking at my calendar, blocking it for mini sessions so that people would schedule before or after, and same thing with the coaching calls. Then there was the content that needed to be published while I was out. To all of the life coaches that I work with, I recommend publishing some amount of content on a regular schedule. That's what I'm talking about. And I'll use my business as an example because that's what we're talking about, how I got away for a month. I help life coaches get more clients and make more money, but the way my business is set up is the same structure as a life coach who's selling individual coaching or just selling one thing. So when I'm talking about my business, it's exactly like, many life coaching businesses, most life coaching businesses. I do also offer done-for-you services, as in I will work with skilled experts to deliver websites, landing pages, email copy, social posts, Facebook ads, etc. And that may be different from your business. I mean, it would be great if you could go do the work for your clients, but they will likely have to do the work themselves, as it stands now, with your guidance. Before I left, I created a podcast episode, the show notes page that goes with it. I uploaded that podcast to YouTube. So when I do the podcast, I record the video. I will upload the audio to the podcast hosting service. I use Buzzsprout. And I will upload the video to YouTube. So it's the same content, it just goes to different sources. And then I create and schedule my email newsletter once a week and 2 social posts. And I did that for each of the 4 weeks that I would be out of office. This is what I do every week. I get it done in about 3 hours. But this time when I was going to be out for 4 weeks, it was a lot of work ahead of time. Well, I guess 3 hours times four, it was about 12 hours of work, but I was still able to get it done in just the week ahead of time. Now, I would guess that many people's reaction is that this sounds like a lot of work to have to do every week. Whether you're thinking about time away from your business or not. And I thought the same thing. I really did. And honestly, the first time I did it, it was a lot. It took me all week just to record one podcast episode and get the show notes out with it. But I don't think it's a lot anymore, and it's really not a lot. I have it down to about 3 hours. This is a short burst of work that lets me reach life coaches who need my help and whose lives and businesses I know how to change for the better. I get it all done in 3 hours. Again, I know it sounds like a lot, but there's a lot of content that comes from that I get done in that amount of time, and it drives all the results of my business. So it is completely worth it, and I even enjoy doing it. Not the whole time. I mean, I don't always look forward to it, but it is a satisfying part of my week. I've had clients tell me that they just don't want to do it. And that's where the real work is. If you believed that you could create content that brought in new clients, you would do it, wouldn't you? I often talk about creating content, but that's just a common way for meeting new clients on the internet and telling them you're a life coach. Because that's what getting new clients, making more money as a life coach is. It's meeting people and telling them you're a life coach and making them an offer. If you're not putting in the work to meet people and tell them you're a life coach, then you probably believe that whatever those actions would look like aren't going to get the results that you want. If you did believe that, you'd do it. If you can find a way to get excited about doing actions that will get you the clients and the results that you want, you would do them. That is really the secret here, is figuring out how to feel compelled to do it, to get excited about it. For me, it's about why I'm working in the first place. I want to be a role model for my kids, showing them that it's possible to do something that you love, make money doing it, and help people all along the way. I would imagine your why will sound somewhat similar, maybe with or without kids, maybe with slightly different language. But there's a reason why you became a coach. Not following through, not achieving those goals, not helping your future and potential clients is you not reaching your full potential. I had a client who told me no way she would ever create videos for Facebook and YouTube. No way. It was just like, it is not something she did. It was not about to start now just because I said so. But she did. Her profit that she was able to take out of her business tripled. It tripled. Of course, there's more to it than that, but I coached her into wanting to do the videos, to do the content. And she eventually enjoyed it, or at least she didn't mind doing it. Considering she started out from it being an absolute no way, not going to do it, not what I do, not part of who I am as a person, to kind of enjoying it. I will chalk that up as a win, especially when it means that she was getting the results that she wanted. Think of yourself in 3 years. What are the results that you want to have? What do you want your business to look like? Then what are the actions you would be taking at that time to get those results? Like thinking about what does your future self do every day? Then how can you pull those actions forward in time so that you start doing them now? That way you can achieve those results that you want. You start getting them now. Start getting them even sooner than 3 years. All right, I think I've gone far enough. This episode is just supposed to be a case study on a simple business model that brings enough flexibility to go on a month-long vacation. I shared what I got done ahead of time to make that happen. You can do it too. If you're looking to add this type of flexibility into your coaching business, I can help. Sign up for a free mini session on my website, bjbutler.com. I'll talk to you next week.